Hello again, everyone. It's Cas Beal, and you're watching Casual Conversations, and you're listening to Casual Conversations on a new podcast that we have. And this is a program we have beautiful, wonderful, exciting, and informative conversations, very casual, with people who are very important to our world. Our very special guest today is Stephen Saunders, discoverer and creator and inventor of the CUTnGO. Stephen, tell us about the CUTnGO. How did you come up with this?
Well, actually, I was watching a video TV program, and a commercial came on, and it showed a cop going through water to save an elderly couple. And then I always say God gave it to me because I didn't even know there were seatbelt cutters until I invented one.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So, what features does this have?
Well, one of the unique features to it is that it locks onto your belt. It's the only one in the world that actually locks on your belt. So when you get it and you close it like that, you hear it locking onto your belt. And that's very important because then you always know where it is. It's always there right within reach.
Wow. So let's you created a video, one of many. We'll show this one, which shows all the positive and effects and everything and how it actually cuts. So let's check this out, and then we'll talk about it a little further right after this, okay? Check this out, folks.
How to use the CUTnGO. The CUTnGO is attached to your belt. You simply hold your belt, lift up, break this safety tab, reach up, and just pull it. That cuts your belt. You simply fold the handle back, and then straighten the belt. The CUTnGO, the best in the business. All right. You see how easy that was?
Wow. That is pretty cool that we got to see how that works. So show me a little more details there in front of you about the product.
Well, one of the things that's really nice is that it's self-enclosed. So you will never see this blade when you buy it or when you use it, and therefore it can never damage your clothing, your skin, or anything like that. So that's really important. And it's guided. See, so you don't really, most of the times, when you buy other products, you have to use two hands, and you have to be very precise and know how to do it. But the CUTnGO is a guided system. So as long as you lift this handle, whether you push it, pull it, or whatever, it can only do one thing, and that is cut your belt. And see, you never saw that blade do that.
Well, I know the product, people think what size they see in your hand. I happen to have an exact copy of that because you're so nice to send it to me and check it out. And it's it's a very beautiful product, number one. I like the red color because it kind of stands out. You can easily find it and see it in case it slides or something else, or you need to locate it because of, you misplaced it or something. But what do you recommend? People get this product and put it on the belt and leave it, or can they also move it to another vehicle if they're traveling?
No, it's meant to go on your belt. It stays with your belt forever. You sell your car, it goes with your car. That's the only way you can really ensure, because see, this red safety tab here is breaking between not 12 and 13 pounds. So it's very important that this stays clamped and never loses its strength in holding it closed. And if you didn't do that, if you try to take it off and move it to another seat, you're going to compromise that. And then when you go to break that tab, it's not going to hold on to the belt the way it should. It's meant to stay there. And even if and they give you a lifetime guarantee of a replacement when you use it, even if you sell your car to somebody else and they get it, you can actually go onto my website, print that out, give it to them, give me their name, and if they ever use it, we'll replace it for free.
Yeah, thecutandgo.com. N, the letter N, not N, go.
Yeah.
So right there on the screen, that's where you go to get all the information. But I think one of the important features I want to show is, memory. So your hand kind of knows where it is. So there's a little video. Let me show how that concept works, and you can further give us more details on that and how you came up with that concept. It makes sense because it's always in the same place. You can open and close the belt the same all the time. And, nothing better than when you reach with your hand, it's like right there versus, oh, it's up there. Where is it? Oh, my God. You have 2 seconds to decide to get out of a car after an unfortunate accident. And so this is very helpful. So let's check this out.
Hi, I'm Steven Souders, inventor of the CUTnGO, and today I'm here to talk to you about one of the most important videos I'll ever make and that you'll ever watch, and that is how to develop muscle memory with the CUTnGO. And what's real important about that is when I come to buckle up, I merely slide my CUTnGO up, I pull out more belt, and then I buckle in. And then I slide it right down to the sweet spot. I believe this is the safest spot in your entire car. You don't want to put it on your lap belt because you don't have the range of motion there. If it's off to the side, it could, when you get hit in the side, it could be trapped and then you can't access it. But with it on the top belt, you have a great range of motion. It's always there where you need it, when you need it the most, in the quickest way possible. Then when I unbuckle, I merely let my buckle slide down. I slide the CUTnGO down. Now, if you notice, every time I'm doing that, I'm touching the CUTnGO. When I touch the CUTnGO and handle the CUTnGO, I'm developing that muscle memory that's going to help me remember where it is, when I need the most, in the quickest way possible. Because when you're in an accident, you're not in the right frame of mind. You could be scared, you could be terrified, you may only have seconds. It's so important that you develop that muscle memory and that routine. It could save your life, the life of you or your loved ones, in the time when you need it most. So get your CUTnGO today. It's the best in the business.
That's right. Get CUTnGO, thecutngo.com. Hey, it looks like you're driving all of a sudden in a car. Wow, pretty cool simulation. Tell us more.
Well, this is how it's going to be. It's always going to be there, right there where you have it. And I made demo ones for you that actually work just like the real thing, so you could actually practice it in your car with you and your family, and you'll know how it works when you need to. It has no blade or no window breaking pin in it, so you don't have to worry about damaging your belt or doing your window or breaking your window. But you can do that simulation because the CUTnGO, the demo works exactly like the real thing. It's the only thing I know in the world that you can actually do and practice it before you need to do it.
Now, how about variations? Do you have many variations of the product?
Currently, right now, we have these are hydro dipped right here for the hunters. Again for the hunters, and then we have the regular ones, and then I have a Good Samaritan program for businesses in the future that I'm going to be working with in the future. And then I had somebody who has their car all blacked out, so if you can see in the center. When we do the next batch, they'll all be I can make them just black with no printing on them if you want them just plain.
Wow. So what kind of feedback do you hear from people who've used the product?
Mostly I hear no one's had to use it yet, thankfully.
Ooh. I'm one of the first ones. I don't have to use it, hopefully.
People have purchased them, but no one had to use it yet to save their life.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone that I've demoed it for or used it or bought it, a lot of them said, oh, I'm afraid. One lady was terrified about going into water. She said, I needed to have something that I knew was going to be there if I went into water. I found a lot of people have a fear of going into water, and unfortunately, we recently had an accident in our area where the guy died 1 mile from his house in a car fire.
Wow.
Now it was raining and he hydroplaned and he hit his tree and his car caught on fire. So he wasn't going fast. So he probably was in good physical shape. And if he had to CUTnGO, I can't say 1,000% that I would have saved him, but I can tell you 1,000% he would have had a chance. Because it would have been right there, because it took too long for the first responders to get there. Because you figure for a first responder, it's a lot of responsibility. They got to get the call. They got to drive to the firehouse. They got to get from the firehouse to the accident. It's raining. They have to deal with traffic, weather conditions. That's all takes time. In that same amount of time, you're looking with a CUTnGO can be done within like 15 seconds. So if he was okay, he could easily cut that belt, broke that window, and been out there. But the fire took too long, and the flames got to him, and he was too badly burned, and he died an hour later in the hospital.
Wow.
And the tragedy of that is the loss of the family member, which is what you look behind me. I have all my family pictures up there because they all want us to come home. But the second tragedy of that is all the burden of the first responders that bear the burden that they couldn't get there in time.
Yeah. So, Stephen, what's the biggest misconception of car safety that people, when you get into a car, what misconception? Also, give us a little detail on how a seatbelt actually works, because a lot of people don't understand the mechanics involved in that seatbelt currently. And you got the loop through with the seatbelt that people think there are two separate seatbelts on. Let's talk about that, because it's when you get into a tragedy, you got seconds to decide what to do, where things are, and how to deal with that. So let's go over some of those cool pieces of information people can share and save lives.
Well, when you look at a buckle there, you can see there's two slots. That's because it's reciprocal. It's all one belt. So when you cut the top belt, you just pull out the bottom. The top of the belt will retract naturally. What people don't realize that this is in their car. And you see where right below where you buckle in? This is because, and then you'll see some of them will be like accordion, and some will have this little button on there, and that'll break. So when this charge goes off and yanks this 1/8-inch cable, yanks that belt down into your lap, well, what happens is because of the force of that pulling it down into your lap and your body going forward from the accident can cause your buckle to jam. Now you're in a real pickle, and you need to be able to get out of that quickly. Most people don't even know this is in their car, and this became real prevalent in 1997. And the reason that was because people were actually sliding underneath their belts, getting stuffed up underneath their dash. And a lot of people don't realize that with power locks and power windows today, that when your car catches on fire, like that poor gentleman's car did, you cannot undo your locks or your windows. So unfortunately, it puts you in a position where you can change your car handles for coffin handles.
Oh,
that's why time is of the essence.
Yeah, I know. That's why the product is so important, because just tell me, can people order them individually, or they order in sets, or how does that work?
Right now, I currently offer them in a 2-pack, a single pack, which is 2, because I figure like pickup trucks, Porsches, Lamborghinis,
Right.
things like that. They have 2 seats in them. And then a family pack, which is a total of, I originally had it at 5, but then I created the demo ones for the seaplane industry. And they told me, we feel that everybody should get a demo one. So now in your family pack, you get a total of 6. So you get the free demo one with it. So that way you can actually practice it and develop that muscle memory. And if somebody should get into your car and they don't have the CUTnGO yet, you should let them use the demo one. Because when you get an accident, there's a trillion ways of different things that can happen in an accident. You may be the one that's trapped or unconscious, and they may need to know how to get out to save your life. So it's real important that they know what it does and how it works in case they need to.
So very cool, powerful product. What do you see the future? What do you see this product appearing in? They think every car will have it, and every moving vehicle with a seatbelt, whether it's a plane or that. I'm sure that's your dream. And we want to get you there, because little thing like this can save lives. There's so many other things that save lives, but this is amazing little invention that can save so many lives. Where do you see the future of this product? The CUTnGO.
I see, I demonstrated this thing 1,000 times or more, thousands of times, actually. If you stopped in front of me, you saw it, and one of the things the biggest responses I got from people is they said that, I think one day this will be on the cars right when it comes from the factory.
Mm-hmm.
Because another thing people don't realize is that if you ever flip your car ends up on the side or on its roof, you have all that weight on that belt, you can't undo your latch. But with the CUTnGO, it's the only device in the world that can cut in a controlled manner. Nothing else in the world can cut in a controlled manner. So when when the first responders come up to you and you're in that situation, they can now put 2 hands underneath you, and they can say, okay, Kaz, cut your belt nice and slowly. So that way they can just absorb your weight and lower you down safely so that you don't get a second injury by falling, because right now that's all that happens.
Wow, that's amazing. That was so quick and efficient.
And the one lady I met, she said it took like 40 minutes for the first responders to get there, and the belt was just against her neck the whole time. And here's a year and a half later, she's still suffering. Well, the CUTnGO is a controlled cut. So maybe you don't have the confidence to cut your belt all the way, or maybe you shouldn't cut your belt all the way. But you know what you could do? You could cut it a quarter of the way, half of the way, 3/4 of the way, and you'll still be safe, but you could release that pressure.
Hey, I wanted to take you back an earlier video that you did of the cut and go, and you got the lovely orange, which I'm wearing today in
that
this
was my
outfit.
first one.
So let's check this out. Let's see if you look any different in this video. Let's check this out.
Hi, my name is Steven Souders, inventor of the CUTnGO, the seatbelt cutting king of the world. And today I'm here to talk to you about the locked on feature of the CUTnGO. As you can see, the CUTnGO here is now locked onto your belt. And when I mean it locks on, that means no matter what kind of accident you get in, it's just gonna hang right there on your belt. So that gets thrown around and you're getting bounced around, no matter what, when you need it, the CUTnGO is gonna be right there. It's the most convenient, fastest, accessible seatbelt cutting device you will ever have.
Oh, very powerful. I like that message with the smash animation at the end. Hey, so one thing I want to turn into, is, you've got people of different ages who drive, and also you have passengers in the car. So you got people who are young and healthy, you got senior citizens, and you have kids. So let's go over like how that applies to different age levels. And I mean, this is very tiny, it's not heavy. And how does that affect, especially with, cutting something in kids? What is your opinion on that?
Well, that's one of the biggest things I ever got. People will say to me, "Oh, what about the children? What about the children? How it can't be safe around the children because it's meant to be put on every belt." But the beauty of the CUTnGO is that you don't have to put on every belt. But the second beauty of it is that if you do, and as your children mature, you can actually talk with them. I made a video with Colton, who's 6 years old, who cut his own belt, broke his own window, because you don't know if you're going to be in an accident or if you're going to be the one that's trapped or unconscious. So I'm going to be making an auto series, safety series here in the near future. And one of the tips is going to be if you discuss it with your children, say, "Hey, if dad or mom are unconscious, come up and give us a little smack and see if you can wake us up." That's the only time you can do it, though. Don't try it any other time, but see if you can wake us up. And if not, then these are some of the suggestions that we have to do as a family, because you don't know what all the particular situations are. But now you can have that discussion with them. But if you feel that your kid's too unruly, or like I was a very high-wired kid,
No, really? You were high-wired? When were you high-wired?
I don't know if I would have done that. So, but you can then put theirs in the glove compartment because it literally takes seconds to install. But that's when you make your decision, because its safety is your family and it's your concern, and you have to make that decision on your own accord. But the point is, you have that choice to make that decision now.
All right, Steven, let's check out. I mean, I got to say that this is this your son in this video who did this, or who's this little kid?
No, that's his little kid. When I was doing some windows, his dad was holding the doors for me when I was doing some practicing and all that. And the guy where I did all these things at Village Motors in Blandon, I did those there, and he said, "Hey, you want to break some windows?" He said, "Yeah."
So we just got to stress that the safety glass in cars does not shoot sharp objects everywhere. So let's just set that up and we'll roll the clip so that people understand safety precautions were taken there. He's wearing a glove and everything, but it shows how a child can save their lives, their families' lives, and other people's lives who are trapped in there, even if it's not their part of the car affected, but they can do that to safely get everybody out of the car, flood, fire, whatever. So that's the reason we're showing this, and you can tell nothing really happens to them, but just set it up so that, talk about the glass shattering issue.
Yeah, well, it's tempered glass. So when you actually break the glass, you'll find that it doesn't have very sharp edges. A lot of it is rounded edges, and this was probably Colton's, 10th window that he broke. Mm-hmm. But it was important because what I wanted him to do is for him to be an example to your children, so that when they could go and see someone like Colton, that they could have the confidence that they could do it too.
Right. Okay,
that's
let's roll.
Colton doing it.
Yes, let's roll the video and check this out.
Hi, I'm Steven Souders, inventor of the CUTnGO, and today we're here at our testing grounds at Village Motors to see if Colton, at 6 years of age, can cut himself out of the belt and break a window. He's going to lift the safety. He's going to lift the handle, breaking the safety tab. That'll retract the top belt here, and then he'll have to pull out his bottom belt, and then I will close the door and letting him break a window, simulating what he would do in a time of an accident if his parents were either unconscious or incapacitated or trapped. Colton, you're up. The cut and go. Get yours today.
I don't know about that guy that came into the window afterwards, but it is a safety. Like you're a constant promoter there. It's like you have to come back in and say that line there, but you could see the effectiveness. I guess he did practice because his head kind of looked back. He knew something was about to happen there with the window. But you know, it's cool to see that. And what I was referring to earlier, you could see him pull the second part of the seatbelt, because some people think there are like two seatbelts because one goes on the lap and one on the shoulder. So, you know, and it took a little bit while for him to see where it is, but he knew what to do. That was the important part. Nothing like, you know, getting the product and you're kind of reading the directions. You don't have the time to do that. So practice, that muscle memory, that really is very effective in there, because seconds, you know, life could change in seconds if you can't get out of a vehicle.
Oh yeah, and the point is, well, the reason I do all my own videos, and I did it with Colton, that was the first time Colton actually did that, and I wanted him to. You see that quizzical look on his face?
Yeah.
And he was thinking about it, and he was figuring it out, and I wanted that because that's the way it's going to actually be. And you know, and now maybe not so much anymore because I made the demo. At that time, I never created the demo.
Okay.
So he never got a chance to do it. He never had a chance of a demo one to play with like you do now and actually develop that know-how. So that's why I'm one of the only people that do my own videos. And if you notice, compared to almost anything else, I always break the window from the inside. Breaking it from the outside is way easier than breaking it from the inside.
Well, what would be the point of that? I mean, you're trapped inside the car. You want to break it from the inside. You're not going to open the door, go outside, and break it. But it's a true point that it's, you know,
go watch all the other videos on the other ones. You'll see they all do it from the outside.
Yeah.
Or simulated ones from the inside. But you see, I do the real thing.
Cool. So let's go over like some of the positive points again quickly in the wrap up. You know, things to remember about the cut and go.
Yep. Well, it's very easy to install. I mean, you literally can install it in seconds. It's just like that quick. You're done. You close it. You're done. It fits on any 2-inch belt, and then even in deer harnesses where they're 1-inch belt, you can even use them on them. It's very easy to use because the guided system. So it controls. It takes out the guesswork for you. It's made right here. 98% of it's made right here in Pennsylvania. My blade is made in Kaz's great state of New Jersey, and it's coated in Maine. And I'm one of the few people that actually coat the blade, and it's a PVD coating. And what that does, it resists corrosion and wear. Even though I'm the only one, if you ever notice, you'll never see anything of the cut and go of its workings, whether the blade or the pin. It's completely protected to the very second you need it. And the reason you coat it is not for the side of the blades, but where the sharp edge is. That's the part that can rust. So people down in Florida or the bayou or anything like that, they don't have to worry about that sharp edge ever being damaged. Just can hang in their car as long as they like, and it's just going to be okay. And there's my tungsten carbide window breaking pin. It's a 25-degree tungsten carbide pin. And man, does that work good.
All right, the big question is this one-time use product, or can you open up and reuse it?
One-time use.
So you pull.
Then you come back to me and I replace it for free.
So once you press that, or then it's kind of gone. But it did its purpose, did its job. So let's talk about costs currently as we're recording this. What are you projecting the cost and where this is available, in next couple of months from what you see?
Well, I have it up on Amazon, but you have to type in the Cut and Go seatbelt and harness cutter because they don't. Amazon actually doesn't have a category for harness cutters, but I am the only harness cutter that I know of because it's protected. And then, so the 2-pack is $49.99 with a lifetime guarantee replacement on them. Family pack is $99.99 with a lifetime guarantee replacement on them. And then for the ones that are hydro dipped for the hunters, which we'll talk about in the future, those are $119.99. And you're gonna find them on the Suno Walmart. And then the easiest place, actually, believe it or not, to find out, I just put it up yesterday, is eBay. If you type in the Cut and Go, it comes up right away. But on Walmart and Amazon, you got to be very, very specific.
Well, we'll put the links to all locations below the video on YouTube, on Facebook, LinkedIn, and also in the podcast will be the audio version, but the links will be available. So we'll help you spread the good news and joy of this wonderful product that hopefully you never use, but it's like an insurance policy. You're happy it's there, but it's a great product to have. I'm so glad you invented this, Stephen. And any final, well, actually, this is the most important question. It's not about the product. It's about this casual conversation. What do you personally feel about once you see we're almost done with the conversation here? So what is your review of this experience?
I think it's been great. And I really appreciate you giving me a chance, Kaz, to talk to people about this because it's really important because people just, safety adders of products are a proactive decision, and most of the time, all of our safety products around us we'll never ever use. But we buy them in case we need them because it's not like, oh, I forgot my milk. I got to quick run out and get another gallon. You only have that one chance and you buy it just in case you need it because you never know. You could drive for 40 years and like my wife did, and then all of a sudden she T-boned somebody, Yeah. And so you just never know.
You never know. That's why you have to have the Cut and Go. Hey, that rhymes. You never know. You just got to have the Cut and Go. You got to do like a little rap song,
You're a poet, you don't even know it.
Song. Get out there with a guitar, or click, click, click. You never know. Let's work on that. We'll develop that.
You can add one more thing to your skill set.
There you go. A little more. That's all you need. Well, thank you very much. It's been a great experience learning about the Cut and Go. And like I said, the links will be below. Go to CUTnGO with an N.com for all the details, order information, everything. Stephen, thank you very much for being a great guest on Casual Conversations. And you can have great casual conversations with anybody else you want, all right? Not just me.
Yeah.
It's not like you can't talk.
Know me, I do like to talk.
I just said, I says it's not like you can't talk because you're very good at talking. It's like stopping you from talking is always the problem. Put the brakes on, and but it's great because you're excited about the product. You feel in your heart and soul that you're really, it's a worthwhile life-saving product, and just go out there, promote the heck out of it, and let the world know about the Cut and Go. All right. So thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, guys. Have a great one.
Bye. You too. Bye. There you go. How was that experience?
Oh, and more importantly, how was that experience for you?
I usually don't know till I watch the playback. It's always you always go through feelings when I think it went very well. It's just there's so much information and trying to which way to go, but there's a lot of pieces there that could be cut up and taken out. I heard a little echo sometimes, like sometimes you'd watch when there was like a delay. So I don't know if you were hearing me a little bit on a delay or something. Because I would ask the question and I'm like, you're waiting, and then you answer like a second later.
Well,
that could have been.
I was having that little pause because sometimes my excitement gets too much.
Yeah.
When I think you're done, I'll jump in. So I wanted that little bit of break, so I didn't jump right on top of your last words.
Yeah, no, that's good. The overlap, sometimes that happens. I think at the end, I said the same line and you thought the same line. I made a line about you, like it's not like you had trouble talking. You said the same thing, so I repeated it because it probably would have been like meshed up together, But it's No, it's really great. I could guess I can go to Amazon and get it. I think I'm part of their like program, so you put it in there as an
See, the
affiliate
real
link or something.
the difficulty of it is like when it comes to Amazon and
Yeah,
Walmart and all these other ones is because it's a brand new invention.
yeah,
Because it's never been sold in the world before, hardly anywhere. I mean, I had a couple
yeah.
sales, but it's never really been promoted. It's never really been sold. So there's no algorithms on it. It's not something that's been out there for years,
Right.
and now you just got something else, and like all those other glorified envelope openers.
Yeah.
So
Well, the cool.
so it's just got to get to the point where it gets shipped
Yeah.
and bought
Well,
enough, and then things will go.
yeah. Well, the good thing is one of the good things is I'm going to put it out at a whole bunch of places, so all those things will suddenly get couldn't go, just show up, and you watch like in a week, you type it in, this video will show up, on the very top probably for a little while, or one of the top ones because it's the newest thing, and it's on all those platforms, and I've been on for quite a while, so it just things tend to bubble up in the world unless somebody else comes along in there or somebody buys the word and pushes you out. That's how it works. You wanted to last time we talked about podcast. So what did someone tell you? You have to do either podcast or video every day for 30 days. That's what they told you.
Russell Brunson said, if you can do that, most people can't, but if you can do that in 30 days, you'll change your life forever. He said, because like the 7th or 8th day, you'll find your voice.
That's for you. Yeah, that's you doing on your end. Yeah. Okay. Now I thought he was talking about impact that'll start, which will be also showing up on the other side because, once you do this on a regular basis, you get comfortable, number one, but also whatever audience you're finding. And if they subscribe, the second you put a new video up or a podcast, they'll get a little alert that says, hey, there's a new Cut and Go video right on their screen, phones, whatever. So that's one of the advantages. It's like repeat. You don't have to keep sending emails out, which you still should do if you have a list, but you don't have to send constant things out that say, watch this. They'll just automatically pop up on their screen for
right. I'm going to do the Cut and Go, my dream, my journey.
Oh, cool. You doing a movie or what?
I could.
You could.
I feel like I've been living in a movie for the last 5 years.
Well, yeah. But it's the story that gets you, all the time. Behind the invention, the creation, that's the story. And then the other thing would be, unfortunately, some people who've used it and, had to actually get out of a bad situation, them tell the stories, get like, responders saying what it helps to justify the things that you said in the interview in a nice little, like a 4-minute video that's tightly edited, which I can do for you if you want. I'm not plugging it, but I can. But, that type of a thing, it's all a story. That's what people get caught up in, a story. So that's not a sell this thing. It's the greatest piece of pie in the world. It's like, right. Why should you eat this pie? Because it'll be good for you, that type of a thing. So it has to be, connecting with the heart and soul, as I said, that's what needed. And you've got the, that part nailed down. So, it's just asking you a series of questions and, you just talk about it and show clips and that kind of thing in between. And other people, and like some process about, if you have some pictures or drawings that, from the process as you went through to do that, and, it's a good story. I mean, it's like, it took that long. It's not just something that some big company came up with. It's, you saw a need, you went in there, all the hardships you went to get that out there. Now it's ready to explode and, on the market and,
yeah, it's crazy because this is the first. I thought of a lot of things in my life, but when God gave this to me, sitting in there, like I'm going to show when I started, I'm going to show the chair I was in the dining room table I'm sitting at right now is where I've drew it up. But this was the first invention that I ever thought of that I actually drew the logo the exact same time.
Oh wow!
And then I went and I looked up seatbelt cutters. I didn't go look up seatbelt cutters first and then come back and do it because I think it was the fact that I actually went and drew it up first. Because if I would have went and looked at them, I might have forgot exactly the very quick image that God gave me of it.
Yeah. So
how crazy is that? And I literally didn't wear I drove over 2 million miles and I didn't wear my seatbelt because I was really terrified of being trapped by my seatbelt.
Wow. see what's happening because you warmed up to the interview. Now all this other stuff's coming out. you know, but no, if you want to do, you could see the ease of this. It's sort of like Zoom, but it looks and sounds a lot better. It gives you so much more creativity.
Yeah.
This is meant for promotional type use, although they're starting a new division to go after Zoom for business to business, because this quality and effectiveness in a business essence versus Zoom, which Zoom's video is not a priority. It's just to connect a whole bunch of voices, thousands, whatever, charge you a fee and upsell, their business. That's how it was set up and goes. But this one, what's cool is you can do remotely. I mean, we could do it so that you set up with somebody else, a manufacturer, whoever helps you want to have in there, and I'm not even on the screen. You're just doing the show, and I'm just controlling the buttons, and you guys do it. I just did one two last month. So it's all you have to worry about is doing what I'm doing, and you're the one asking, like if you go to a car dealer or somebody else, or you just got a distribution deal with someone and you want to plug the fact that they'll be promoting it. No, you want to get them on and saying, I'm so glad, how are we going to be doing this, that kind of stuff. Or you can put out a whole series. Like in one session, you can record like 10 or 20 little video clips about, the cut and go, and then you have them ready and you just post one a week, so you don't have to go every day do that.
I can do that. That's child's play.
But the other thing that would be cool for you is to do a series of live ones. Just have an audience that they're live, so people can actually, interact with you. Whether you set up some people, because you can bring like a third person into this conversation.
Oh, like we were like with AJ. I was doing yesterday. We were doing live TikTok ones, and we were interacting with some of the people.
Right. So that stuff helps because people can answer it and they see it, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I have no problem with that because there's nothing that nobody can ask me that I haven't heard because I've demonstrated it so many times and I talked to so many people about it too, where I've gotten so good at it now that I can tell on the phone the minute they reach their breaking point.
Yes. What is it, like silence or what? What's your cue?
They'll hesitate.
Oh, hesitate, yeah.
They'll hesitate. They'll be like, and you'll hear their breath.
Yeah.
Their breath, their breathing and their breath will change.
Yeah. Well, in person, what I see is what you kind of did there. The eyes start rolling, or you start looking around at other things.
Yeah.
And kind of, okay, am I like blowing your mind with all this technical stuff? Okay, we'll continue another time. Whatever. It's just because they're losing you, and then it's a waste of your time because they're not paying attention anymore. They're just, oh my God, this thing, how do I click?
Yeah,
I don't want to hear about it.
I did that in the beginning because I needed to develop the material. I needed to be so comfortable in talking about it that I could, when I got to the people that were really important, like I just did a meeting with people for possibly AutoZone, O'Reilly's, Advanced Auto, Home Depot, Ace Hardware.
A distributor. It's like a distributing company.
Yeah. So they would actually put the CUTnGO in all those stores.
Yeah.
But I could just, they don't intimidate me because I've talked to so much about it. It's natural. Yeah. I mean, I could probably be blackout drunk and talk to you about this.
Well, don't do that, though. Don't do that and drive.
No, I won't do that. I mean, I've done it so many times. I mean, it's just second nature to me.
No, the things you got to think about is once those places go live and the stuff is in there, I would see you going so excited, like, hey, guys, can't believe this. I'm so excited. Look where we are. We're in freaking Costco. And look, let's go down to the auto section. Look what's here. Look at this display. This is freaking nuts. Believe this? And like stage maybe someone walking by and say, hey, have you heard about this? What do you think of this? Like, little clips like that, because the excitement of because a lot of people who create stuff, whatever, but like in person, they're just like dodos, like, I'm just here to make money. Okay. Well, tell them about the product. Well, it saves lives. It's clips and go to the website, watch the video somebody did for me, but you've got that transforming personality that, goes Regis, those type of people, and what I do here is I try to pull that personality out. I had to push back, get down.
I thought I did pretty good. I think when you go back, you didn't realize I was pretty cut and go. I tried to cover that one thing and then I stopped.
Yeah, yeah.
I tried to do it for you because I didn't see your finger go on your chin once.
No. I did it. Then it's like, oh, he stopped. Okay, I guess like usually
You
I'm the
had that
one
little
cutting in.
hesitation too.
Usually I'm the one
Because you
like,
were surprised.
stop, let me get in there. But you know, normally it's that way for me, you know. And this way, like, you know, I expected you to just keep going. I thought, like, okay, I'm gonna get in. You get him. Stop. But it's cool. If there's anything like I mean, I look at it. If there's anything that's, you know, whatever. But I just felt it was important to set up that clip with the kid because, you know, it's like what's cool is you have a great promotion, but one or two people get on there who are sensitive to that, and they're like, "Oh, this is a horrible product. It's gonna bust, you know, kid's eye, and kids will get, you know, splattered everywhere." And you know, so it's best to cover it before they watch it. If
Yep.
it's good afterwards, then it's like, okay, well, you're just being defensive. You're just covering your butt because you want to cover that. So let's set it up. It's sort of like setting up, you know, a horror clip that's going to show something nasty. You know, because like, okay, well, you're going to see this, and there'll be a lot of blood. So if you're not into that, don't watch. Look away. You know, it's just, you know, I'd rather take care of those issues before than, you know, after and everything. So send me the exact URL links to, you know, what the links are to, you know, wherever the product, eBay and.
Okay,
and
yeah. When
below.
AJ gets here, he's the guy that's real tech
Okay.
savvy, and he's the one that's helped me out with all my TikTok stuff, and he's helped me set up my eBay account and all that because
Yeah.
you know I may be able to invent this thing and then invent all the machines to put it together and all that, but when it comes to the internet stuff and that kind of stuff, you know, I didn't have the patience to sit there and learn and have that discipline. It's just it was too much. That's why my name is Clicker Man.
What's cool about eBay is, you know, they will guarantee the delivery, you know, and the products. You don't have to worry about that. You know, if it gets lost or whatever, they cover that, you know.
Well, we ship it out because I have a fulfillment center.
No, I understand that, but it's covered, I guess, under their, you know, safety thing that, you know, that's what
and the guy actually, I put it up yesterday, and somebody made me an offer on 2 of my hunting packs this morning. And it was a little less than what I wanted. You know, I gave him free shipping and no sales tax. I'll pay sales tax on it. But I wanted to see how the process was going to go, how my fees were going to be, and everything, and just start building an algorithm that it's a viable option.
No, because they give you the shipping label. I think they put the shipping labels if you ship through, you know, them, and discounts through mail also. So the system is so. I used to do stuff early on, and it was like, you know, mess. You wouldn't know who you get if they're going to rip you off, you know. Then
my wife did it. There'd be people that would try to say, "Oh, I'm going to leave you a bad review to get the stuff for free."
Yeah. But they cleaned up though. They had to because they're so big now that doesn't matter.
Well, I put it up yesterday. Then, like, all of a sudden, I had like 19 views. Well, I didn't know at the time. Like, I put it up, and like an hour later, I get an email that says, "Oh, we suspended your account." I'm like, "What?"
Why?
And it said no, you owe eBay money, and because you didn't pay someone's for their they bought it and returned the item, and you didn't pay them back. I'm like, it's been up there for less than an hour. How's that possible? It's like the world's fastest purchase and return in history. So it's hell getting through them. I finally get through to somebody there, and they go to me and go, "Oh, no, we just wanted to verify who you were because we make sure you weren't a bogus site." Well, that's not what you told me in here. You just told me I owed you guys money.
Yeah, I know.
And he said, "Okay, we know who you are, so we'll put you back up there." And then somebody actually already bought it. I mean, I couldn't believe it. Well, they didn't pay me for it yet, but we'll see.
Well, that's when they do that, you'll get the notification, and they take a little cut from it, whatever.
Yeah, I want to see that. But then when we do the hunting videos, I'm gonna put my hunting clothes on, I'm gonna put my harness on. What I'd like you to do, though, is I know we talked about doing that right away. I'd like you to review this one that we did, and give me how you thought I did, and all that. Because I did notice at one point, the very first ones you'll see, I didn't realize my hands were hitting the table, and I saw the screen shake. But after that, you only see that in the first one. After that, I moved my hands back, and I made sure they didn't touch the table again.
Yeah, that's fine.
But
I recommend,
because I want this to go off great, as good for you as it does for me, because we're both in this together.
Yeah, that's true. We are.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And this is a lifelong dream of mine.
I'll send you a recommendation on the camera because that's one thing you definitely have to get.
And the
a camera.
microphone.
Or if you had a laptop with a 1080p camera on it, that would take care of it, which is a higher quality.
Well, I'm not going to go buy another laptop. It'd be cheaper to buy a camera.
The camera's under $100 with the decent one that I know somebody's using it. I asked them what it is, so it's made for that purpose. And
okay,
I think it has a built-in mic, but I'd still recommend.
I think a lapel mic would probably be better though too. Yeah.
And I think
that way when I go out and about and I do my videos,
yeah.
I can have that on when I'm outside, and it's going to pick up way better.
Yeah. And because the other thing I probably noticed some of the echo is because you're probably far away. I don't know how far away. Are you 3 feet away or 2 feet away from? About 2.
1 arm length.
And sometimes it depends because you got a wooden desk in front of you. Sounds bouncing off of that, and so I would hear like a little echo, and if there was like nobody talking, suddenly I'm talking somehow, and normally it doesn't do that. It just clears it through.
Well, then why don't you send that over to me today? I'll order that, and then we'll have that for when we do the hunting one.
Yeah. Yep. Cool.
And then I'll plan on then I'll give me a chance then to start working through and setting up all my thing there for my thing, and maybe I can do some trial runs on it.
The package sent you this high quality package right there.
Oh my God! What did they do to it? What did the rats get hold of it?
I had one plan, but I didn't do it. I was going to have you like take one and throw it to me, and I was going to go like, "Hey, thanks a lot. That was pretty cool. You did that." Maybe on next one.
That would have been an awesome effect. I would like that.
Maybe on next one you do that, but I would need to get somebody who works for me to push the button so that it would go from like this right to this. So you toss it, right? And then I'd have to go like, whoa, thanks a lot. Like little.
Well, I was going to kid that. Hey, I really didn't win the beauty pageant with the CUTnGO.
Oh, hey, you should do that. Why don't you do that? Get a banner made. Mr. CUTnGO, like like a beauty pageant.
Oh, I can get on here, the seatbelt cutting king of the world.
Yeah, or when you go to a trade show. Get a couple like go to model school and get a couple of model girls and say Miss CUTnGO, and have them walk around with the banner, like during a trade show. That's what a lot of people do to get awareness. Go around and they go, what is it? Well, it's Boost 45. Go there, and they're giving one away, and they have whatever it is. So they push the traffic towards you, and you get to meet Mr. CUTnGO, and have photos and that kind of stuff. Instagram. That's how these things are done these days. And I'm going to do a little caveat along with when I launch a podcast, because not only am I going to talk about the CUTnGO, but I'm going to cut and go this weight. Oh, there you go. Double cut. Double cut. You see that's like I used to do a movie show and other stuff, but I just like instantly reacting, and I like people sort of like you that I can say whatever, if it's dopey, stupid, whatever, they react to it and say something else, that back and forth. Because the worst is like, you say something that you think is, funny, creative, cute, whatever, and the person kind of goes, okay, like, you get it? So that's what makes it casual, as I say, because I never want to get someone on who's just boring, and there's serious subjects. We did one. The only one I did is about a friend I want to do about hate in the world. Why people hate or racism, whatever. I did it as a favor to him. We covered that, but it exists and everything. So I want to show that I'm not just promotional and funny and dopey, stupid stuff. So that way it gives a variety of different things. And as far as the audio podcast, I used Anchor. It's called Anchor, and Spotify purchased Anchor. So you put the podcast on there. It's for free to create one. And then also you just select where you want it to go to. So naturally on Spotify now does, I think I told you, videos and converts it to audio. So you're both on Spotify.
I set up my account yesterday, and then I'm going to start tweaking, doing, they said you can do a practice one and all that. So when AJ's here, I'm going to do a practice one and all that.
Yeah.
But, first responders are the most difficult people to talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because a lot of them, and unfortunately I met a bunch of them, but a lot of them are there because they need that in their life.
Yeah.
And man, I met this guy who's like a 30-year veteran last night. We want to see about doing a testimonial. Like, does he believe in the cut and go? So he's telling me about all these poems that he's gonna be getting the thing. So he said he wrote 2 poems, they're gonna be going there and there. And so I'm with AJ and I go, well, good thing about the cut and go is by having this is that if you ever need it, you can cut and go home and write your 3rd poem.
Oh, yes.
AJ's going, he's always got an answer for everything. I was like, yeah, you sound like my wife.
See, but all those things are good because you make a composite of all of them. Like,
Right.
go back to, the casual conversations, and also it's on a podcast. I just put together a bunch of clips. That's why I always ask at the end, what you think about the show? So there's like, I think a 90-second video put together was just, I learned things about me I never realized because the way you asked me the questions, or it's great. Well, Joetta was she's an Olympian, 4-time Olympian. I don't know if you saw Lean on Me, the movie about Joe Clark. He's a principal high school. He walked around with a bat to straighten everybody out. That was his thing. They made a movie. That's her father. But she says, oh, because I met you a few years ago. It's nice that you're still, reinventing yourself, not stuck in the same thing. So like all those little comments with music works well. So like when you said the last thing, a couple other things, like little highlight clips of all those, cut and go to save lives, boom, 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 boom. And then at the end you go, okay, to see the whole interview or podcast go to, so you get them hooked with this quick barrage of things so they get a sense of with you, it's information, you get some entertainment, some humor, and memorable. You could have just said, yeah, this is a cool product, I'm happy, it saves lives. You open it up, you close it, you smash the window. Hey, go to the website to buy it. I'm like, okay, maybe, maybe I'll tell it to my grandmother. So it's a different thing. It shows it shows the urgency part. Like I just see a lot of those things, with your thing. Yeah, you go over the top sometimes, but you have to because it shows that you really are the guy, not some.
Well, you gotta be changing your cadence up and all that, and you can't always keep it. You don't want it very monotone. It's got to be up and down, and sometimes got to be a little bit over, and then you bring them back and all that. And it's all about keeping them engaged. And that's what I think I'm pretty good at doing that.
No, you are. I mean, like. Sometimes if the person is, pretty much like more serious, or there's some big CEO, whatever, they're talking, and I just suddenly I like to just go in there and ask them a question that sometimes you do that to get them off the track that they're at, or just, so what do you do in your spare time? They're like, and then you see this like, and then they laugh like, oh, okay, I do this. Because they're like, wait a second,
what's going on here?
And they change into like a real person, and then you take them that track a little bit. And so now let me get back to you, the product, the company again, so that, I don't want it to be, except go back and be a stuffy interview, because nobody wants to listen to that unless the importance is so valuable that they want to listen to every single word of it, but you want to show these people are real people. They have other lives besides doing whatever they're doing. I didn't get into that. I didn't ask you like other stuff before that, how you kind of, but we did the setup of why you came up with it, and also, right to the product. All right. So, thanks a lot. I think it was great. I'll just review, see what it looks like and sounds like, because I only you hear only half. You don't hear yourself. You only hear half the conversation. You don't hear it in real life as you hear it in the room. So when it's combined, now
will you edit this and cut it up, or will it just be the whole 30 minutes raw?
I just look at it. I clean up the beginning a little bit at the end if there is something. Like I noticed one of the video clips, because I just put it up the way you sent it to me, and it wasn't true HD regulation. It was like a little thing showing on the left and right. So I fixed those, so I make them so you don't see that stuff. At one point, I guess the background I switched out. It went to black, and because the background wasn't in there. So like little things like that. If there's something that just sounds, it's going too long on one, I go clip a little bit of it. But it did turn out to be 29-minute range. That's my goal always, is to get it in there. I thought around 22 minutes, pretty much covered everything. But, there was enough material after that, because we kind of repeated and, did the stuff. And that little thing turned out great, next to the orange block with all the information on there.
Yeah.
But I went into Photoshop and I repositioned that exactly there, so it appeared perfectly, covered me up and in there, because you've got to make sure that that works out, Yes, that was perfect. I put a bevel on there, make it look like a block coming out instead of square. Like I did those little things that, make a difference because it's, you want to show quality, on the other side. Yeah, this was a
Yeah,
good one.
I'm gonna
Sent
do
out
my
for 2 minutes.
podcast like for 10 minutes in length. Each one's gonna be about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I wouldn't go over that. If you're under, it's okay. If anything else, I would just fill that end part with like a promo for it. Maybe do like a separate voiceover at the end. To so when it's over, it says to get information, so that you're not the one doing the marketing for it as
Okay.
well. Okay, you're just the
Okay.
info guy. You're the nice cop saying this is, everything information. You're excited about it, and then boom, maybe a female voiceover. If you
The
need if you
change of
need help with
voice
that,
will bring it to
yeah,
bring
you
it
know,
bring it to attention.
yeah, so that it just goes to that, and or like after the two breaks in the middle, so it kind of says here's how you can get the cut and go, and then it goes to like a little musical thing, and then it's a female voice that comes in that says that, and then maybe at the end she goes, now back to Stephen, something like that, so that there's like an announcer there because certain things, well, mostly like lawyers, doctors, when they do commercials and stuff, says, I don't ever want you saying you're the greatest and whatever, because they don't have freaking salesmen. They don't hire you to be a salesman. They hire you to take care of their medical issue, their case, not to say, hey, I'm the best and I got the best scalpels, whatever. It's like that's not your job. It's your job is to make them feel warm and fuzzy about that what you're doing. You're happy about the product and everything. Like some do it where it's like the person's interviewing you, but that's kind of like you're on the show, but they know it's your show. So I think to me that I don't know whether because I know what it's like, but it's like, well, that's kind of like fake,
Yeah.
Like you hear that on Sunday morning, like radio, this so and so again and doing this. I'm like, come on, this is like a fake talk show. It's not like they're guest on the show.
Yep.
So when this goes, just do blast it everywhere. That I'll send you a photo with the frame. You could say, I was a guest on the show. Episode's coming out soon. I'll let you know. I'm so excited. That kind of blah blah blah.
Yeah, because we'll share it on TikTok, we'll share it on Facebook and everywhere else like that and all that.
Yeah, so start the buzz going, and then then when it goes, and you can say, here it is, guys, check it out. Let me know what you think. Just be open with people. Just say, I'd like to know, we'll do more of these. Anything I should do more? What did you like about it? And I'm not going to be even sad if you say part of it sucked. Let me know. Just like be honest about it.
I don't think any of it sucked. No, I think it went good. I was more worried about me.
Uh-huh.
Going on too long and not not looking like a conversation.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wanted to look like we had a dialogue.
Yeah.
Not just that's the whole point of the podcast is because there is so much to tell about the cut and go.
Yeah.
But like you said, I had to master my material, so unfortunately I had to break some people's wills. But that's the point of the podcast because now I can lay out all the stuff about the cut and go because I could probably do it for 60, 90 days straight. Yeah. But the point is they can digest it in little tiny increments.
Well, the other thing
because there's no way they can absorb it all. It's too much.
The other thing is if you do the little ones and you put it on the YouTube, you can do a playlist. I don't know if you know about that. So that the playlist, so you have all the episodes 1 through 20, right? So you send them the first one. What happens is on the right side, they see all the episodes. So if they go, well, I don't want to hear about the freaking stupid glass. Let me hear about the, that thing with underneath the belt, the hydraulic, whatever. They can do that. But if they don't do anything, one will just play the other. It'll be like a series automatically. So once it over, that's why short makes sense in that sense, because once they're into it, they're like, into 9 minutes or even sometimes do shorter ones. And I would also do
straighten them up. Don't always make them like 9 minutes. Make 9 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, and quick switching it up.
Right. And then the other social media we'd use is even if like you just made sales or a deal or you heard from a customer, don't be afraid. Just get on your phone, get on, live and just say, hey, I'm so excited. Somebody just bought the product, and they told me the story that happened to them. They're in Omaha, like through parts of the country.
Well, maybe I'll do that for TikTok today because and I'll show my first eBay order.
Yeah, like
I
that.
put it
Yeah.
up yesterday on eBay, and today somebody bought two honey packs. Man,
Yeah.
is that
And say
exciting
thank
or
you.
what?
And say thank you, eBay, because that'll get picked up and eBay, repeat that kind of
Okay.
stuff.
Okay.
So because that's in between again goes to show me that you're a real person, you're involved, you're getting into it versus, we did this thing, we shipped a freaking pallet to Amazon and they're just distributing, we have to do anything with it. That connection is there. And in this case, again, it's a life-saving product, and it's the real person. It's like, look at the guy, the My Pillow guy. Like he's freaking everywhere.
Oh, I met Mike
on the
Lindell.
radio,
Me
on
and him are a lot
TV.
alike.
Mike Lindell, yeah, and he's involved with whatever politics, but he's on all the time, and he's saying what he did. I mean, it's basically follow that blueprint.
Yep.
You're the same guy, except it's a different product. The way he talks about it, it's nonstop. It's just, and then because the advertisers on the shows, they go, oh, they sent the product to me, and I love My Pillow. It's like, boom, boom, boom. That's how it kind of spreads. The ideal thing is to send it out to certain people, like go to the PBS stations, like the PBS, New Jersey Network, the kind of stuff, TV station, just samples to them and say, we do a story on this, but it's a life-saving product, but you need to record a little short pitch, send a little video clip with it, show them that, and or link to a podcast or to this to show them, like, if one really want to watch for 30 minutes on it, here, watch this. You learn everything about the product and the clips. But it's just pounding, the pavement with them, and nice that you can do it now without going anywhere. The old days you'd have to drive in, I'd have to drive to you, set up 2 cameras. It's like, boom, you're there. And this could have been, I could have put this out live right now on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube at the same time, live. It's just there. People go, why you do this? I go, well, because I can. Right? Because it's there.
It's
like 5 years.
Say.
Look, I went through this because I used to do movie show, that kind of stuff on cable and everything. But and I'm told, by the way, I'm totally different off camera. Like they talk about Carson. When Carson was off camera, he didn't want to talk to anybody. He's like, what the hell? This guy be like a big talk show host and everything, and like doesn't want to talk to anybody because he just shied away. He was out of his environment. He didn't want to talk to people. He didn't know what to answer them because he wasn't in control, I guess, in the end. When you control, you can ask and do. And also when you appear on the show, no matter how big or small it is, it's like that, or meeting you. If they've seen you, like you've got this, what they call like a glow around you, So when they see you, you got to be that guy. You can't come in and like say, well, yeah, I know. I'm like, like, where's this exciting Steven that we see? Where the hell is that guy? What'd you do with him? They pumped you up for the interview? What? So, they expect that. But offline, unfortunately, people expect the same thing. They're like, well, how come you don't talk
well,
to
with me, that's the way it is, 24/7.
I know, you get both things. But no, but if someone I know, like, look, I only talked to you on the phone a couple of times. Sometimes way too long than we should have, but we did,
On your end, not my end. I wasn't ready to quit.
I know.
I can tell.
No,
I heard you crying, Uncle.
but I could, but I after those conversations, I never saw you and stuff. I feel like I can just talk to you with the way I am. So it's a connection you make with people, but also it's a way to make them feel comfortable on camera. Some people who are in entertainment that I knew from the past, and they're like not doing that, but just doing guitar music. And I asked them to be on, and they're like, oh, I don't know. I said, well, you're freaking creating music videos. You can't talk to me. It's just me. It's like NBC Big Time or something. Like, what are you afraid of? It's not even totally live. It's just we're recording it. So if you screw up, we just won't use it or whatever. One guy I'm still after, like he's in Hawaii. Like I can't get him. I'm like, what are you afraid of?
One guy, it's funny you say it because one guy said to me one time, he said, Steve, the biggest challenge you're going to have in your life is the fact that not only did you invent this, but you create so much material on top of everything. You're so knowledgeable on your product. You can talk about it so well that literally you can walk into any boardroom in the world and dominate it.
Yeah.
And he said that is going to really affect their pride, their egos, and all that. Because like, I've been doing this for 20, 30 years. And here's Steve with a D average in high school, a double major in home ec in 11th and 12th grade. I'm wired. I live in a double wide trailer on a landfill. And like, he's going to come and school me? Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm going to come and school you. My deer videos that deer video that you watched?
Yeah.
Do you realize There's not a hunter in the world that knows what I taught them. I was only in a deer stand twice in my life, probably less than 2 hours, and I've hunted probably a dozen times maybe. And I'm gonna teach the entire hunting world something they never knew. How crazy is that? Because one thing I do is I if I'm going to talk about, like, when I went to Seaplane World and in Warplane magazine, I now have the first ever created seaplane protocol. But I did my homework first. I didn't go out and blab about my invention. Oh, I'm this, I'm that, and this. I needed to know that I could talk factual about it, and that it was true, because it has to be true. I'm not everything. Most things out there, they really can't talk to you about them because they're gimmicks with safety in mind. This is safety with safety in mind, you know? And that's what it really comes down to, because I really wanted to see you cut and go home to your family. I don't want to hear the stories on how, oh, yeah, I sold an invention, I made $1 million, but, oh, by the way, my father used it and it didn't really work for him, he's dead. You know, I couldn't lay my head down the pillow knowing that I did that and still have that money. I couldn't feel good about having that money.
So, Stephen, when do you have to recharge your batteries? When do you have to recharge your batteries? Aren't your battery running low by now? Oh,
no,
I got you on that one.
No, it's like, you know, well, God has me sleep a little bit, you know, and then that's when I do it.
It's great. All right, great conversation, dude. I'll see if I can look at this by the end of today, but early tomorrow, and I'll send you the. And
don't be afraid to be honest with me. You know, that is good. It's very important. This is one of the very first steps I'm making, you know, and I want to make sure, because I want to know, did you learn something from it?
Right.
And what did you feel about what you were learning? That's what I want to know, because that's what you got to do. You got to feel like you're learning something. If you didn't feel like you learned something,
save a life. There it is.
You're telling me to leave? Bye.
Game over.
You're telling me I gotta cut and go.
There you go. I gotta cut and go now.
I got it. I got the message. I got it. Later.
That's how you do the industry. Oh, this is the big one. Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Yeah,
you see that? Like, wrap it up. See ya. Bye.
Have a great one, guys.
You too, bye.